What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoodeBaker podcast. I'm Nick Baker, and across from me, Shane Good.
Yo, what's up?
And we are here to talk to you about some video games. But first things first, I want to remind you guys to go check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Play stores for the audio version of the podcast, as well as our YouTube channel for the video version. Make sure you keep up with everything that's going on with us over on our Instagram and Facebook pages so you never miss a show. Now, on to the rest of the show. What have you been playing, man? What's going on this week? I hear three little letters, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, just blurt it out, but it definitely has a P, an O, and an E in it as well, so, I don't know.
Scream it from the rafters, my boy.
Path of Exile! No, I've been playing a ridiculous amount of Path of Exile as far as gaming goes. It's pretty much like, I've been playing a little bit of League of Legends as well and just kind of slowly climbing so I don't get out of practice. But it's mostly been just like Path of Exile this past week. It dropped this past Friday. The league is called Ritual. It's really, really interesting. It's a lot of fun. There's different types of leagues. There's I've talked about it a little bit. There's bossing leagues, then there's crafting leagues. Then there's speed clear leagues, which is my favorite, where it's just the goal is to clear everything as quick as you possibly can, so you can just get your rewards and then go into the next piece and clear everything as quick as you possibly can. And I really enjoy speed leagues, and that's exactly what this is. So
that's awesome, dude. So what are there any major changes to the format of the game with the new update, or is it just adding different things?
It adds mechanics. So they always update and change the game. They just changed the entire the way that maps work again. They added ascendancies to maps, which is really, really interesting. Before, when you opened a map in your map device, you kind of just opened up to a mini dungeon, so to speak, that had a very consistent tile set. And you knew exactly where you were going, and you pretty much knew what was going to happen. Now they made a ascendancy where you can skill into 4 to 5 different things, and you can kind of force spawn different things in each of those maps by using different masters. This probably sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo if you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you do, you're yeah.
This is for all you Path of Exiles freaks out there.
Pretty much. Long story short, they changed the way mapping works. They always buff and got a bunch of builds, so it kind of keeps everything fresh and different, and people aren't playing exactly the same thing, even though they never touch my build, and I always end up playing the same exact build at the start of the league because it's very consistent. I'm playing a Cobra Lash, because I play that every single league, because, like I said, it's very consistent, but,
Dope name.
Yeah, dude, it's a dope skill. It's a poison skill. I'm gonna do Flicker Strike, I believe, next. So, and I've never played Flicker Strike. It's one of the most cancerous builds for your computer. And the servers as well. Yeah. Essentially, you hold right click, and you pop behind an enemy, and then when you've killed that enemy, you're still holding right click, and you pop behind the next enemy, and it just chains. So if there's 100 enemies on the screen, you pop behind 100 people times whatever your attack speed is. So you just, you just fly across the screen and everywheres, and yeah.
So you right click and your computer just blue screens.
Pretty much, yeah. It's worse on the server. You actually have to have specific server settings on, because otherwise you'll desync from the server because the server can't find you.
Holy crap.
So it sounds like a lot of fun to me. It's there's
Let's
a couple
break some games.
Yeah, fuck those PoE servers. Anyways,
yeah.
What have you been playing, dude?
Dude, I've been frequenting a few different things, but mainly this week I tried out the Pokemon DLC, the second drop that they had in October, I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Frozen Tundra or Crown Tundra, one of the two. Anyway,
Something Tundra. Got it.
There's a bunch of legendaries to catch. It's pretty fun, but it's very surface level to me. That Pokemon game just kind of uh, lost its luster over time, and I didn't really stick around for much of. I finished the first DLC, and I played about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes of this new DLC, and I was out. So it didn't really grab me there. It was, like I said, decent to go back there, but I just kind of lose interest now with that, just because there's not a really good through line in those DLC packs. It's
Hmm.
not like something that's going to keep you there for hours and hours. So I wasn't too down with that, but I moved on to a replay of Horizon Zero Dawn because I never got to play the DLC, which is the Frozen Wilds, which is very close to the Pokemon DLC. Now that I'm realizing that, um, it's a whole lot of fun. I forget how beautiful that game is. The lighting and colors in that game just pop on my 4K TV. It's just incredible.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm really excited to actually get to that point. I'm still, like first 20% into the campaign of that original game. So it'll take me a little bit to get to the DLC part, but having a lot of fun with that. Obviously, killing giant robot dinosaurs doesn't ever really get old for me. And the last thing I've been playing, obviously, is Call of Duty Warzone. I've been grinding on that Warzone, trying to get those W's. I got a few earlier this week with the boys, but it's gone cold in the last few days, so I'm gonna have to try a little bit harder in these next few days that I have off. But yeah, game's still great. They finally nerfed the DMR, which was a big pain in the balls. It's still really a dominant gun in the Warzone, but yeah, it's not actually just two shotting people anymore. It actually
Oh.
takes some effort, and they increase the recoil. I feel like they added like a smoke effect too, so that you can't really see as clearly through your sights.
Hmm.
So that's interesting. That's a really interesting way that they have nerfed that gun that I don't really ever see in any other nerfs. Um, you don't really ever see like extra animations added to a weapon to make it different, which is interesting. But
I
yeah,
mean,
that's what I've been playing this week.
that's pretty cool though. That's you know what? I was just thinking about it. Your character name. What we're breaking down here. Why don't you send me over your character name? And I'm just curious to see how many kills you have right now. I've already got the website up, so
Oh, the ID.
yeah,
The
I just need your PSN, dude.
Oh, my PSN. Oh, it's Ravenous Rage, man. It's
Ah,
Ravenous, spelt
oh,
RAVANOUS.
Rav.
Rage, all one word.
Yeah, that dyslexic's kicking in. But we should we should go to the next piece while you message me that on Facebook.
I will definitely message you that right now. But we're moving on to the breakdown. So this week on the
What?
breakdown, yeah, we need some music or something. But
The
uh,
breakdown. All right, go for
that's right.
it.
Perfect. So we got 6 things this week on the breakdown. 6 topics to talk to you guys about this week. First of all, EA's exclusivity deal with Star Wars games has come to an end. The announcement
Oh,
comes from Disney. They're moving all Star Wars games under the Lucasfilm Games umbrella, so no longer will EA have exclusivity. They'll still be making Star Wars games, which they announced on their own Twitter, but now other developers are actually going to be able to dive into the Star Wars game pool. So I'm really excited. One of our other topics is having to do with that. But what do you think about this exclusivity deal finally coming down? Are you super into this? Or I mean, I know you're not like a huge Star Wars guy.
it's true, but I am a like I have a lot of opinions. Let's say let's go with opinions. I have a lot of opinions on EA, and not all of them are specifically good. I think that it's really like I don't like exclusivity contracts to begin with. I think that they kind of hurt gaming as a whole.
Yeah.
So personally, that's how I kind of look at them. Um, I don't know. I think that there's a lot to it. I think that with that contract ending, there's just going to be a larger opportunity to see different types of games that people do better. Like perfect example. Our next topic literally is a game that a different company can make better than EA that doesn't have to be kind of revolving around the shooter aspect of it.
Right,
Um,
right.
I think
So let's
that's
yeah,
really cool.
let's just roll into that. So our second topic is very, in the same vein. Ubisoft is making an open world Star Wars game, and it's coming from the development team Massive, that is the team that's behind the Division and the Division Two. So if we're looking at their former games in Division and Division Two, this could be a shooter. It could be, a Destiny like looter shooter type deal, or it could be something completely different. But
Hmm.
what we do know about it is that they're going to be using the Snowdrop engine that they use for those Division games, which is a fabulous engine. It looks beautiful. The only thing being, it doesn't run nearly as well on console as it does on PC.
Right.
Um, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see what they're actually putting together here, because Jedi Fallen Order was one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time, and that was made by Respawn at EA. And I think that was the best thing that they've done with the Star Wars property so far. So seeing that as their like kind of, not necessarily their like end, but their last little period on their exclusivity deal for their Star Wars games, I think that they're going in the right direction, and Star Wars games as a whole are going in the right direction. So if Ubisoft can kind of take um, what they're able to learn from EA and apply that to whatever they're making over at Massive, I think the game's going to be fantastic, because I've said it before on the podcast. I'm a huge Division fan. I played through the entirety of 1 and 2. Got into Endgame in both of them. Didn't really play much in the Dark Zone, but
Hmm.
fabulous games. I enjoyed both of them equally. And once we went back to New York with the DLC for the second one, I was psyched. I was totally all in. And having New York in the summertime was great.
Definitely pretty.
So yeah. So I'm totally stoked on this. An open world Star Wars game just sounds fucking perfect. And if they can somehow incorporate like ship to planet transportations, similar to like a No Man's Sky type deal, where you're going from planet to planet and dropping down and like visiting each ethos that is, you're going from like the sands of Tatooine to like the jungles of Kashyyyk. Like it'd be super cool to see all that realized in uh, a really cool open world game.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. It's I mean, I'm sure a handful of you already know. I'm sure you do as well that there is a open world MMORPG Star Wars game online right now. I believe it's called Star Wars Old Republic Online or Star Wars New Republic Online or something along those lines.
Yeah, and
Um, it's
Knights.
interesting.
No, no, not Knights of the Old Republic, because that's the other one. But yeah, yeah, you're
Ye-
right. There is an MMO, and yeah, I played that a while ago. I think around the time it first came out. It was really fun, but uh, as MMOs go, it was kind of limited in the way that they couldn't really go bananas with the graphical side of things. They couldn't really make things look really really realistic as far as Star Wars lore goes. Like they couldn't get
Yeah.
deep into detail with that. They did great storytelling, but other than that, it was I don't know, a pretty surface level Star Wars experience. I want this to be like, you build your own Star Wars story in this game, and you can do whatever you want. That would be ideal, I think.
Yeah, kind of like the Knights of the Old Republic back in like the
Yeah,
is it like the
exactly.
Xbox I think it first came out on.
Yeah, if they just do straight up Knights of the Old Republic, maybe add a little bit of like co-op or whatever that Massive has experience in, and
Mhm.
just kind of make that game better and look amazing, I'm totally 100% sold. You already got my money.
Fair enough.
It's in the mail.
It's in the mail. It's in the form of a check written out to whoever the fuck
Yeah.
can offer me this game.
No, it's just like cash in an envelope. the
Perfect.
envelope just says Ubisoft on it.
Perfect, dude. They'll know exactly what you want, don't worry.
It's like, yeah, I know this guy. But yeah, our next topic, number 3 on the list, Bethesda has released a teaser trailer for the upcoming Indiana Jones game that is riddled with anticipatory tidbits, and I am equally as excited for this because I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, and geez, as far as I can remember, there really haven't been any good Indiana Jones games other than
What?
Uncharted and Tomb Raider.
Wrong. No. No, 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 no. Lego Indiana Jones.
Oh my goodness!
How could you have forgotten?
Allow me to take my words and stomp them into the dirt. You're right. Indiana Jones Lego is actually pretty amazing, but the Lego games as a whole, they're
I,
pretty fun.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've played any of the Lego games where I've been like, damn, this is trash.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sitting there like having a bad time playing those games.
Yeah, no, for sure. But anyways, back to the point that you were making.
Yeah, so if you've seen this, it's like a maybe 20-second teaser trailer. It has some really nice music in the background. It pans over this table of all these artifacts and papers and things that have all kinds of little Easter eggs hidden in there. And it finally ends with assumedly Indy picking up his hat over his whip. And the trailer ends with a whip crack. And man, it Bethesda having this worries me a little bit because of like the lack of faith we or the lost faith that Bethesda has had with 76 and
Yeah.
this being their next thing that could be potentially in the pipeline coming soon is a
Well,
little worrisome because we haven't heard anything about Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6.
I think
So,
that honestly, I'll be 100% with you here. I
all right.
think that these guys, like, sure, Bethesda's had some issues, but they've had issues going into areas that they're not familiar with, going into multiplayer situations, going into looter type games, going into just areas that they're just super unfamiliar with. Their single player campaigns that have been just 100% story driven have been super solid. And I mean, Indiana Jones, it's probably going to be a single player campaign driven type game. So like I at least feel
One would hope.
confident. Yeah.
One would absolutely hope. And yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. I agree. The story campaigns for all of the Bethesda games are just top notch, and they always do a great job of not only storytelling but voice acting and the things that they can get from their performers as far as that goes.
Mm.
Even with the emotionless animations that sometimes parade around the games like Fallout 3, 4, and
Oh.
whatever.
So some of some of the like actions you're allowed to take in Fallout 4 just fucking confuse me, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, the oh man, the thing is, man, I can't wait for us to have video because I would totally stand up and do the whole Skyrim like guy walking into a table. Hello,
Yeah.
stop right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the guy is like dead serious, like you're not allowed in here, but he's like walking through a sheep.
But I mean, that was like what? It's been 12 years since Skyrim came out?
Yeah, and dude,
10
it's still
years?
coming out, man.
Yeah, 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 no, you're right.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, I'm you know, passively excited for this. I love Indiana Jones. I love Bethesda, and obviously I love video games. So bringing all those things together, um, we'll see. Again, excited, but we'll see. Next on the list, we got number 4. New Pokemon Snap details and release date are revealed in a new trailer that dropped earlier this week. It's coming out April 30th, and it looks way better as far as graphics go than any of the Pokemon games that we've seen in the past, like ever. It's the best looking any of the animations of any of these Pokemon have ever looked.
Hmm.
Granted, it's going to be on rails, but they just need to take the look of this game and apply that to the next main Pokemon title, and we'll be golden.
I mean, I don't know. There's part of me that says yes, and the other part of me is like, you don't play Pokemon for the graphics. You play Pokemon for the storyline that's the same every single time, And
You're you're right.
the
You're
weird
right.
flavor, you know what I mean? Like you play it for
Yeah.
that flavor, the drift loom, dude. You play it for the drift loom.
The drift, dude. I Yeah, you're right. Those are all reasons that we play Pokemon. But imagine this. Imagine another reason to play Pokemon, and that is because it's graphically as beautiful and intensive as, say, Breath of the Wild is, in
Oof.
the way that Breath of the Wild is not a technical achievement by any means, other than the fact that the world is so, you know, immersive and you can do literally whatever you want there as far as physics go.
Yeah.
You can try it and it'll probably work. I just want that for Pokemon, man. I want to be
All
able
right.
to, just like screw HMs, screw all this. Like, I want my Scyther to actually be able to cut a bush, and like obstacles should be real in those Pokemon games instead of just, a tile that you need a special move in order to get past. I
Yeah.
want there to be like a little bit of a layer of realism to it.
Now, I will say, if there was like, even if they took it up to like Breath of the Wild, if they had managed to take it up to something like um, Horizon Zero or something like that quality of graphics, I think it would definitely bring in just a different generation of Pokemon players. The people that always were like, "Ah, dude, Pokemon's a kids game." Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think you could definitely bring those people in.
And you wouldn't have to change the mechanics of the actual battling in the game itself. Just change the things that, like, the quality of life things and the overworld, make it more lively and make it more interactive,
Hmm.
and make things work, a little bit more realistically, and make Pokemon actually feel important in the world rather than just kind of this team that you throw at a brick wall of gym leaders until you get to the end. And like you said, the story is predictable in all of these games, and they've changed it up here or there, but it's mainly the same thing each time. And they could keep that formula, but have all of the things in between all of the gym leaders be entirely different and bring a breath of, like I said, realism and beautiful graphics and interactivity to this game that has been not necessarily stagnant, but has become that in the last few installments, in my opinion. It's something that
Yeah.
makes me stick around for a DLC pack two that is, really not doing much for me.
All right. Really quick, because I had
Mhm.
this crazy epiphany. All
All
right.
right.
This is free content for Pokemon. You're 100% allowed to use it as long as you just put my name with it. So you're in a post-apocalyptic Pokemon world where an asteroid has come down and destroyed like half of the Pokemon, and like a new Pokemon that's like a Pokemon ruler comes out of this asteroid, and it like cuts, and then it goes to like all of a sudden Pokemon are like abusing the humans, and like it shows like a small scene of them like beating humans in their houses and like using their moves on humans, and then it like cuts to a different scene, and this new Pokemon is like overruling and like controlling the Pokemon of the world, and they're turning the like Pokemon world into like a society where the Pokemon now rule the humans.
Wow. All right. All right. We're getting dark and deep with this. I like it.
Dude, it could be a cool and then like you're as a human, you find like Ash and like Pikachu, and because of their friendship and their bonds, like he can't control them, and they slowly just start to turn back all the Pokemon because of their friendship. Like I don't know, man.
Oh man.
I don't
That
know.
you sold me a little bit towards the end, but dude, Nintendo's never gonna go for like Pokemon beating people. It's never gonna get sold. But I do like that. I love that, like, the idea of a dark twist on Pokemon, but it's not in the cards. Like, the the main things that I think could actually change with Pokemon is they could take a little bit more of a serious note, whereas a lot of the um, past installments of the games have just not taken it. They don't take the actual lore of the game really seriously. It's just a bunch of kitty haha like
Yeah.
laughing and dumb jokes, and all
Yeah.
your opponents are like super nice to you and they're not mad that you beat them up. Like the the original man, Gary was such a dick,
Yeah, he
or
was.
whatever you decided to name him, Blue.
Yeah, he was an uber dick.
He was an asshole, man. That's
He,
how you got to do it.
he literally killed his Rattata. Like,
Yeah,
like he just fucking killed it.
nuked it, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
That's so Pokemon Snap. It looks really good. I don't know if I'll dive in there because I played Pokemon Snap when I was younger on the Nintendo 64, and I really enjoyed that. But it's very much a game that you're probably going to play a few times, put down, and never play again, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
but moving on to number 5 this week on the breakdown, we got Capcom wow. Capcom's Pragmata gets pushed until 2023, and Square Enix's Project Athia is slated for 2022. So these two games were announced, I believe, at the same showcase, the Sony showcase earlier last summer,
Mm-hmm.
last year. Pragmata is kind of like a trippy spaceman game, or that really we don't even know what the hell the game is. It's just the CG trailer was this guy in a spacesuit. There was this little girl that he was holding on to. Eventually, they like jumped off a building so high that they saw the curvature of the earth, and that's where we are with that.
Yep.
So that game, very Kojima like in notion. I thought for sure it was another Kojima game. Is slated for 2023, but Square Enix's Project Athia is coming next year apparently, and that one is a little bit more, a little bit easier to describe. It's the main character looks to be, if the title has any weight at all, her name's going to be Athea, and she has
What?
elemental type powers. She's controlling rocks, using different abilities that way. Third person action, where the gameplay that we've seen looks very graphically intensive. Looks a little bit like Final Fantasy 15 on crack. Um, the game itself, we really don't know anything about. It's just kind of a working title for them, but yeah, that's looking like it's going to come out next year. That'll probably be before Final Fantasy 16. So look to see that, and more information on those, I'm sure, will come in the following months. But last but not least, number 6 on our list, we got a new season of Apex Legends announced for February 2nd, and will include a new Australian legend named Fuse, who's got a metal arm. So what's not to love there. They're also going to be changing up the map for the third time officially. So they're going to be
Ooh.
changing some things around, blowing it up. I have no idea. I haven't played Apex in a while. And they're going to be adding a new lever action rifle named the 3030 Repeater to the arsenal of weapons that they have in the game. So that's pretty cool. Always add more, don't take away.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's they've done, from what I understand, they've actually done a very good job at keeping the game pretty well balanced and kind of making new adjustments and new additives to the game, but still making sure that those launch weapons aren't bad. They're just used for something a little different,
Mm,
which is always
yeah,
good to see.
yeah. They just change up the way that they're used in the meta, or when I played those games, it never really felt like any of the weapons were really really terrible, other than the what was it, the pistol shotgun there.
Oh, the wingman? Is that what it was?
No, oh no, that was the hand cannon. It was like it started with an M.
I don't even remember half of them. I haven't played it in probably 2 years.
Oh yeah, so probably since launch.
Yeah, about
uh,
launch. Yeah, I played it a lot
uh,
around launch.
because I guess this is going to be, yeah, pretty close to their second anniversary, the February 2nd. I don't actually remember. I think it was like mid-February that it actually came out, but I don't quote me on that. But yeah, that's everything we got for you this week. Make sure you check out our Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Play stores for the audio version of the podcast. Like I said before, check out our YouTube channel for the video version. We'll have videos soon, I assure you. Make sure you keep up with everything that's going on with us over on our Instagram and Facebook pages as well, so you never miss a show. We will see you next week. Hopefully you'll see us too. And yeah, until then, peace.
Peace.